Hi everyone, today we'll be looking at getting the ShiftScan app installed and running on our Macs. To do that, we're going to go to the GitHub repo for ShiftScan. We're going to scroll down to C, which is the app option. This obviously is the instructional video, and we're going to go ahead and just click on this Google Drive folder link. That should open up a new thing. Okay, great. This is the actual app all zipped up, and these are the example datas that you can download if you want. You don't have to. I will be downloading it for the demo. So we'll just download all three. Download anywhere, it's fine. I made it, I trust it. Allow, yes. And the input. Again, you don't have to download the example stuff if you have your own data. This is just for the demo. There it goes. All right, I may pause this while it, oh no, 12 seconds, maybe not even. All right, well, it doesn't really matter. It'll be done in no time. 7, 6. Yeah, we'll leave it in real time. All right, everything is done. Great. So we can close this. We don't need the internet anymore. We can go to our downloads, or wherever yours downloads to. We can unzip all of them. I'm just going to unzip the example data and metadata first. Again, you may or may not have opted to download those. Totally up to you. All right, this is the actual app. So we're going to unzip that. It's about 300 megabytes, so it takes a second. You can delete that. You don't have to, but right, within the folder, you'll see a whole bunch of stuff, but this right here is the executable. I've just left it in the folder. I gotta be honest, I haven't tested it since taking it out. So I would just leave it in there, but anyway, you can just double click on that. The ShiftScan app is built on top of Electron. This is the Electron icon, so if you see that, that's what that is. Right, this is probably gonna happen on everyone's computer because it costs like $100 to get a certificate to be a verified developer, and I don't have that just hanging about. So don't move it to trash, just say cancel. And then you go to your settings, and then you can scroll down to privacy and security. Right, there you go. And then you can scroll down a little more, and it'll say blah, blah, blah. ShiftScan was blocked because it's not from identified developer, because this developer won't pay $100 to get a certificate. So I'm just going to say open anyway. I'm going to put in my password. You'll have to do the same. So I hope I typed that right. Okay, there it goes. I'm absolutely sure I want to open it. I made it. I trust it. If you don't trust it, that's totally up to you. Anyway, let me close everything, and there it is. So we can close this for now. And this is the app. You can resize if you so wish. For the demo, we're just going to run through it real quick, but this basically is it, and it's now working. You won't have to do that security thing again if that did pop up for you, which it likely did. That's just a once-off. Basically says, yes, I trust this program. So to use this, you can go here. You choose files. This is just the folder. So you just click on the folder. You don't actually have to click on the individual files. Now, an important note, you'll see that there's 4 here. When I say upload, it says 5. That's because, unfortunately, it's just the way the HTML works. It picks up everything in that folder. So if you have any hidden files, it will pick those up too. Don't panic. In the back end, there's a whole lot of code that just gets rid of those hidden files, and it only looks at your raw files. Metadata, we're going to go to, and we actually have to choose the file. So you click on the file. I say open. Right, so that's our input metadata. The defaults, pretty much the same as if you would have had the command line algorithm. At the moment, we only have 2 different options here. If you have another one, please let me know and I can add it in. But at the moment, those are the 2 formats. And if you need to know about the formats, please go to the GitHub repo. There is a full breakdown of what the data formats are supposed to look like. Right, mine is tab delimited files. Yours might be comma. So just check that. My controls are in 1 and 2. Now here we can either go RAM intensive. So this is good up to about 12 384 well plates I found. I haven't really tested further, but I know it's good on the app up until 12. If you want to do it much slower, you can go the disk intensive mode, and basically it writes a whole bunch of intermediate files out and then and does the full thing, but it's just much slower. And then this is the option. You can either run the full analysis, or if you're just interested in getting the melting temperatures and not actually doing a comparison between your experiments and your controls, you can pick the only calculate the melting temps for the wells. We're going to run the full analysis. There's also more advanced features, which again are available in the command line, but it's sort of how many processes you can use and your various cutoffs and that sort of thing. Unless you really know what you're doing, I would recommend just leaving that alone. Anyway, and so once that's done, you can just press process data. Now I am going to pause the video in a sec because while this normally takes about 20 seconds to run using the command line option, when it's in the app, to make a long story short, it's slower. It's where it took about 20 seconds on the command line, it takes about a minute and a half to do about 4 plates. So yeah, I'm going to pause it, and then as soon as it's done processing, we'll take it from there. Okay, so it's done processing, and if you scroll down, you'll see that you now have 2 new buttons that have shown up that you can either save the output files or visualize them. I tend to just do both, so you can just save, and yeah, we can put it into, let's see, I'm going to make a new folder. I'm just going to call this ShiftScan results. That's fine. And it's going to, annoyingly, unfortunately, it does this 4 times, 1 for each file. I have not figured out how to do it in one fell swoop. But basically, you can go ShiftScan for final results, save. I'm going to go in the results, save, results, save, results, save. And those are your 4 output files. You can do whatever you want with them. They've got all the details, the melting temperatures, whether or not a well failed, etc., etc. And then all the curve data, the actual coordinates of the curves, are saved in the final curves. But basically, they're all components of the visualization. Now, this is one of the major limitations of the app. And we're going to click this visualize button, and absolutely nothing is going to happen for exactly 60 seconds. To make a very long story short, once again, is a limitation of working with the app and the way everything is set up, is that when you click this visualize button, basically something called a dash app is fired up. But when I was testing this, the timing is all over the place. And the more plates you have, generally the longer it takes for that data to sort of get loaded up and then fired into this app, or the app to get fired up. And because when I was trying to figure out what sort of the trend of how long this takes, per plate, the timing was just all over the show. And so I've given it, and I tested up to about 12 plates. And it maxed out at just a little under a minute. So now when you click that button, it takes exactly 1 minute from when you click it to when the visualization pops up, which does feel like a lifetime, I will grant you. But I wanted it to rather, just have a little wait than never show up at all. Anyway, so there, a minute has passed with me rambling on, and we have our visualization. Much as you would with the command line or the Colab, the visualization is identical. But basically, we start with the plate overview, how many of the control wells failed, where are they, blah, 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 why they failed. An overview of your controls. Again, which well failed and why. This one, the melting temperature was 1.5 standard deviations away from the mean, which is something I set in those advanced features. It's the default. You can see the melting temperatures for the control wells before and after cleaning. This is a really nice example here. You can see this big lump of melting temperatures got, cut off, and so the analysis is done only with those controls. The next tab is the melting temperature overview. If you have more than 16 plates, there will be a drop down here. I haven't actually tested that many on the app, so let me know how that goes if you do opt to do it. Here's our plate. Again, much as with every other implementation. Oh, helps if I click it properly. When you click on a well, it will show you the original curve. This is not the first derivative. This is the original curve of the data. And by original, I mean the gray is actually the original data. And the blue is the sigmoidal that got chopped out by ShiftScan and was used to find the melting temperature. It'll also show you sort of ones that have failed and why. You can kind of see that's definitely not a sigmoidal shape at all. You can also change the color if that's something you wanted to use instead. I prefer the melting temperature. It's great to see sort of edge effects, that kind of thing. If you see a weird pattern going on, you can catch that quite quickly, and you can sort of just scroll to find all your different plates and, faff with however they may look. And then finally, there is the hit list tab, where this is just a default hit list based on our z-score distribution sort of calculation that's explained in the manuscript. There's also the options to do the traditional standard deviations away from the control mean or the number of degrees. We can just do it degrees today. We can say, 2 degrees away from the control. Melting temperature is fine with me, but I only want to look at the stabilizers, for example. And then we're going to update that. And there we go. So the total hits is now 18. As before, you can get rid of hits. If you click on it here, you can see your original curve and the first derivative. The blue line is basically where the melting temperature is for your curve, and the red is the average controls. For whatever reason, we decide this is not a curve for us, this is a bad curve, we can just delete it from our list. That's the thing. The app is slow, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do about it. We can also generate all these curves, so all 17. We can look at them all at the same time. They're all down there. We can also generate the summary graphs, which again is really only useful if you have fractions, but this is the distribution of hits. Basically, we have controls over here, all of our others over here, and our actual hits here. This one wasn't a hit because there's a relative amplitude of 2, and we had a cutoff of 1.5, so it can't be more than 1.5 as big, 1.5 times as big as the control amplitudes. And again, you can change that to suit your needs. And these are the sort of just the breakdowns of, title explains it all. Basically, in plate 1, there were a whole bunch of hits in fraction 1, but on plate 3, most of them came from fraction 4. So that kind of thing. When you've decided, you're finished with your fiddling around, and you're like, right, these are my hits, going to go on to whatever next step, you can export this out, and you say export, and then, rename it whatever you want, my hits. And that will export it as an Excel spreadsheet. When you're done messing around, you can just close it. And that's it. Once you have visualized once, and again, it's a very long story, but basically I've prevented you from doing it again. But you can go ahead and just close it down, and you're done. And if you are a Mac user, often these things, as you know, you can just close it completely by saying quit. And yep, that's basically it. Hopefully you have a great time using it. It is slow. Please remember that. If you want speed, if you want things done blisteringly quickly, I strongly recommend you look into the command line option. But if you have, up to about 12 plates, the app is fine. Just remember that the more plates you have, the longer it will take to process the data, and that the visualization will take 60 seconds, regardless of how many plates you put into it. Do let me know if you use more than 12 plates and it doesn't let you see the visualization, because I may have to change the timing then. But thank you for using ShiftScan, and good luck with your analysis.